What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and we are about halfway through Overwatch 2 Season 17, which means it's time to start getting hyped for the next big content reveal. No, not the Nerf collab, although I am pretty excited for that. I'm talking about the next new upcoming Overwatch hero, Wuyang. Or Wuyang. I've not found a definitive stance on the actual pronunciation of this name. I guess we'll just have to wait to hear it said in game. But either way, he is the next upcoming new hero, and we're going to be getting our hands on playing him ourselves very soon. So in today's video, I want to break down everything we actually know so far about Wuyang. I think I'm just going to call him Wuyang in this video, delving into his role, possible abilities, and when exactly we're going to learn more. So first and foremost, diving right on in. Get it? Dive, because he's water themed, whatever. I'm sure most, if not all of you watching this video are familiar with Wuyang to some extent, possibly being more familiar with his code name being Aqua. I mean, he was literally showcased back in February during the Overwatch Spotlight event, where they originally identified him with the codename Aqua, and also confirmed that he would indeed be the next upcoming support hero, and that his kit and abilities are thematically based around water, something which we can pretty clearly see visible in the concept artwork of him here. Now, there were a few additional tidbits of information revealed, such as apparently he's going to have the most unique primary fire in the game, which is maybe just devs trying to hype people up for the idea of the hero, and I wouldn't put too much stock in this statement specifically. And also that he would officially be joining the hero roster in Season 18. But as has been the case with new heroes for well over a year at this point, we will be getting an early gameplay trial period for Wuyang sometime in the latter half of Season 17. And now that we're pushing that point in time, there is a lot to look forward to in terms of not only the hero himself becoming playable during the trial, but also teasers, build-up, and sneak peeks leading up to that point. And while there didn't appear to be any in-game teasers pointing toward Wuyang at the launch of Season 17, which is a little strange because historically Blizzard has done things like this, you know, Juno's landing pod coming down from the sky, or the wrecked Oasis spawn room leading up to Hazard. But in the case of Wuyang, it doesn't seem like Blizzard has really added or done anything teasing him in-game just yet. Now, maybe they did and the community just is oblivious to it. We've just completely overlooked it. I don't know, maybe the water in Atlas is supposed to be somehow alluding to Wuyang, but we could very well see that changing with the Season 17 mid-season update, which should be coming up very soon. Now, admittedly, it does feel a little late for them to be doing that because we're probably going to be seeing the actual trial for Wuyang very shortly after that, but who knows, we'll see. I haven't found anything in the maps currently pointing toward him. Maybe there are details and we've just overlooked them, but regardless, we do have actual concrete information on the upcoming hero and when we're going to learn more, which was confirmed by Overwatch game director Aaron Keller in a recent interview, which is that we'll be seeing our next teaser/sneak peek at ChinaJoy 2025. Now, for those of you who maybe don't know anything about ChinaJoy, which up until recently included me, ChinaJoy is a Chinese digital entertainment expo, kind of similar to the E3 type event, which is, of course, located in China. And seeing as how Wuyang is a Chinese hero, an event such as this, which is going to be running from August 1st to 4th, is a perfect time for them to reveal, or at least tease, some information pertaining to the new hero, which is apparently exactly what they're going to do. And while we don't know what exactly is going to be happening just yet regarding Wuyang at ChinaJoy, we do know that there will be something regarding him revealed here. Now, there's two possible ways I see Blizzard playing it when it comes to whatever gets revealed at ChinaJoy 2025. Either it'll be them giving us a lore/gameplay reveal trailer revealing the hero and his abilities, or it'll be that plus the actual launch of his trial that same weekend, since August 1st is a Friday, and we know that historically, hero trials have started on a Friday and run for the duration of that weekend. However, I haven't been able to figure out any specific information in terms of when during the ChinaJoy event Blizzard is actually going to have information about Wuyang revealed. It could be early on Friday when the event first starts, in which case I think it's very likely we see a hero trial that same weekend, or depending if it happens later, like maybe on Saturday or even Sunday, it's more likely that it's just going to be the trailer and information, with the actual trial then being the following weekend. Because, you know, it doesn't make sense for the hero to be playable in a trial before they have the proper exciting hype reveal of the trailer, and also they wouldn't want to have a hero trial that only lasts a single day. So yeah, depending on when Blizzard is actually able to have a presentation at ChinaJoy, that will sort of influence whether it's the same weekend or the following weekend that we actually get to play him ourselves. But either way, this event, without a shadow of a doubt, is going to be when we get the big information about him. I wouldn't even be surprised if Blizzard drops some little teasers on like social media, or as I said, maybe even in-game in the week or two leading up to ChinaJoy. But in terms of getting new big information about the hero, it is going to be this weekend of August 1st, with a very good chance that that same weekend we'll get our first chance to play him for ourselves. Now, unfortunately, that more or less does it for all the concrete information we have about Wuyang at this point. There is quite a bit more we can speculate, though, about the hero, which I'll delve into a little bit here, but not spend too much time on. First and foremost being his water mechanic. Now, there's several different elemental-themed mechanics across the hero roster, but one which we've never really seen manifest is water. The closest we've had really is probably Mei with her ice abilities, who coincidentally is also Chinese. But as for proper water, a la water bending from the Avatar universe, which totally seems to be what Wuyang is doing here in this concept artwork, is something we haven't actually seen within the roster. So personally, I am very excited to see what this ends up being in terms of a hero's kit, primary fire, and abilities. And considering the soothing, cleansing, healing properties of water, at least when it comes to a, you know, more mystical perception of it as an element, it makes sense that we would have a support hero be the hero able to wield water in this way. Now again, factoring in the support mechanic, he's gonna have to have some form of healing abilities, almost certainly tied to water, and that could honestly manifest in a lot of different ways. It could be something similar to Moira's healing piss spray. It could be more like a Brigitte repair pack, where he just throws a glob of water that maybe auto-targets onto an ally to heal them. Or maybe it's even more Kiriko of Fuda-esque, where it's like a targeting stream of healing that has a sort of downtime between bursts. Or maybe he just has a big splash wave, like what Baptiste can do with his AoE healing. There are a lot of different ways that a healing mechanic could manifest for a water-themed hero, and honestly, I don't think we can really settle on anything too specific at this point in time. In terms of his actual kit, the one most prominently visible aspect that is almost certainly going to tie into his abilities here, other than the water itself, is the large staff he seems to be wielding, which in lore is likely going to be the mechanism that actually allows him to control or waterbend the water. I mean, unless they're going to pull another Kiriko and say that he somehow possesses magical abilities, he's going to need some sort of technology that's actually allowing the waterbending to work, and given that the staff here looks to have some sort of water inside of it, perhaps it serves as both the vessel which stores the water he uses for his abilities, and is the mechanism that actually allows him to control it. Though at the same time, we do see him in the concept artwork performing some sort of cocky water ball twirl on his finger, and the staff doesn't look to be involved in him doing that whatsoever, so who knows? Another mechanic worth considering, though, is the cleansing effect of water I mentioned previously, which in my opinion means he could end up having a cleansing mechanic similar to Kiriko's Suzu. I doubt it'll literally just be another thrown AoE splash like what Kiriko has, but I could easily see him having some sort of spiritual water type mechanic that cleanses negative effects and debuffs, like, you know, anti-heal, sleep, stuff like that. The water may also very well give him some sort of mobility aspect. Perhaps he's able to summon a wave that he can sort of surf on in some way. But just from looking at his character concept here, I don't get the impression that he's a terribly mobile hero. He looks more like a grounded type character who probably stands where he is and uses water to sort of extend his reach to both deal damage and heal, as opposed to someone like Juno, who's more speedy, zipping around and getting to the targets. Again, just speculation there. I wouldn't be surprised if he has some form of mobility mechanic, since at this point, basically every new hero gets some form of mobility. But I just have a hunch that he's going to be more like Ana on the mobility side of things compared to Lucio or Juno. And the last major thing I would like to speculate about here in this video for Wuyang is his actual design. The design we see here, shown off both back during the Overwatch 2 Spotlight event in February, and more recently when Blizzard revealed his name during the launch of Season 17, is simply concept artwork of the character, much like the original concept artwork of Juno we'd gotten at the BlizzCon prior to her releasing. And keeping that in mind, I think there's a good chance the actual design of the hero, at least visually what they look like in-game, could end up differing a decent bit from what we see here. I mean, even in the concept artwork itself, we see a couple different versions of this character's design. So considering past heroes we've gotten the concept artwork to prior to them revealing the actual design of that hero, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up simplifying his outfit to some degree, or making little tweaks here and there to better reflect his actual abilities and mechanics, whatever those may end up being. So while I know that a lot of people are really excited about Wuyang and really like the design of him here, there is a very good chance that we see it change to some substantial degree. Granted, it's probably still gonna more or less look like the character we see here, but will be tweaked to better fit an in-game 3D model as opposed to just concept artwork. So that's something worth keeping in mind. But otherwise, I think that does it for everything we have to really talk about here with the upcoming hero Wuyang. I'm definitely interested in hearing your thoughts about this hero in the comments down below. Do you have any thoughts or speculation of your own when it comes to his kit and abilities? Do you have any neat ideas for skins he might be getting? And when exactly do you think we'll be learning more about him leading up to his gameplay trial in the latter half of Season 17? As always, be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch 2 news streams and other content. You can also check out my second YouTube channel, SukiMIG, which I started somewhat recently, focusing on a side project of mine that I've been working on, largely tied to my live streams. I actually upload on that channel quite a bit more often than I do this one at the moment, and there's some fun stuff there that I think a lot of you would enjoy, so be sure to check it out. But otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.